Hello. Hi. Why is my mic so high up? I don't fucking know. There I am. Some things I just don't realize until I'm already talking and stuff, even if I do test streams and whatnot. Let me put my watch on do not disturb so my watch doesn't bug me. There we go. There we go. Hello. I had Chipotle today. So it's gonna be a good day, right? Yeah. Hello, Juju. Hello, Ina. It's gonna be a good day. Also, we're gonna start episode 3 today. I don't know how long it's gonna be. I haven't really looked at the length of time of these episodes. There's a lot of fuzz today on the mic. There's always fuzz, but today's a lot. I do need a Chipotle emote. Do you think BTTV has one? Let's see. It wouldn't surprise me if Chipotle is really good with their social media, so it would not surprise me. Oh, I need to turn my captions on too. Shit, is the captions working? Oh yeah. Okay, it would not surprise me if Chipotle has their own like Twitch account, low key. You know what I mean? How do I search again? This was the hardest part for me to figure out last time. Chipotle. No. Let's do a burrito. Burrito. That's like a Taco Bell burrito. A BTTV technically has burritos. Maybe I should do like a... Maybe, what if we did like me wrapped in like a Chipotle burrito? Does that make sense? I'm brainstorming here. Where's my notepad? I try to figure out sound alerts. I'm not sure if they work now. They have not been working. Are they working? No, they're not working. I don't know what to do. They work on the website. So I don't know what's going on with that. Really frustrating though. I try to fix them. So if anyone uses sound alerts, I guess we should refund them. I don't know. Okay, Molly burrito. Maybe I'll do that this weekend. That would be a good idea. I feel like...
Yeah.
Well, yeah, work. Oh, what the fuck? Never mind.
For real?
Okay, so they do work. I'm so confused. Oh my gosh.
Nice.
What the fuck? What the fuck? But hello, Hopper. So they are working.
Wait!
They are working.
What is the tea?
They
The
are
girls
working.
are fighting! No!
I cannot believe this. I want to add Eslo. I want to add Eslo to sound alerts too because of there's like a couple good ones. I feel like the one when Eslo goes, "Oh," that one. I feel like that would be a good one. So, I need to do that. Okay, so they work. I don't get it. I don't. I am really overexposed and I cannot fix it for whatever reason. It's beautiful outside. That's why I'm overexposed. But hello everyone. Hey, that would be a good one. I'm just gonna make them like 0 bits, I think, because like I feel bad if people spend money for sound alerts. I think that's a silly thing. But then they don't use channel points. I think there should be more sound alerts for channel points. I don't want just people... I'll have to brainstorm it. We could replace some of the Persona ones since I'm not playing Persona, or I haven't played Persona on stream in like 2 years. You have 20,000. Oh my gosh. I should make flex because I don't know what to do with channel points. Like I have a complicated relationship with channel points. I love hoarding the fuck out of them though. And a few channels I follow, I have 300,000. I'm very proud of it. One of the people I follow has a flex, but I'm such a lurker that I'm scared to do that. I literally never chat. I never chat. I'm actually not a chatter in a lot of people's. Anyways, okay, we're gonna play this today. I have actually been playing Apollo Justice off stream. I just finished case 1, episode 1 of Apollo Justice off stream. because I don't want to set up a 3DS capture, because 3DS emulators are funky usually. So, and they're even funkier when you try to stream them. So, not the DS, but the 3DS is funky. So, I've been playing Apollo Justice on my own, and the fucking bullshittery of that one, I'm like, what? What? Great Ace Attorney makes a little bit more sense to me. When streamer I watch plays the jaw harp for redeem. Jaw harp? What the hell is that? Cause their points, brain cells let you redeem wasted brain cells. Just this. That's what I need. Jaw harp. I have not watched Vine Sauce. I know who that is. I don't have it partook in his content. I also, when you said Jimmy Wetzel, I used to follow Jimmy Wetzel, and I'm guessing that was my previous Twitch account because I'm realizing I don't follow him. So I need to follow him on this account. I know I'm outing myself as this wasn't my first official Twitch account. Teehee. I'm looking up a jaw harp. Jaw harp. I know he's the origin story. What the hell is this thing? Interesting. Should I buy one? I want one. I do not need one. I originally, if you're an OG of the stream, which was 2 years ago, originally I was supposed to do like a TikTok dance for 20K, but I'm not doing any of that anymore. TikTok dances have gotten out of control. And then I've been trying to brainstorm things since, but I probably will do a 100K flex. 200K flex, 300K flex, because I know I have 300K on several streamers, so I know it's doable. That's like 3 years or something. Something like that. Hi, Tim. How are you? I can't believe we have 2 Tims here. I love that. All right, we're starting episode 3. There's a fucking update. You think I should just start software? I think we can just start software. I think it'll be fine. Oh my gosh. The Adventure of the Runaway Room. Is that a system update? Right? I don't need online. Man, I was looking into modding my Switch Lite. It's technically Jeremy's, but Jeremy has a Switch now, so the Switch Lite is just a paperweight right now. And I thought about modding it. And you have to open that sucker up. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Because opening this sucker up, not a pain in the ass. There's 1, 2 screws. You open it up. SD cards here, batteries here. I don't remember what's here. Not a big deal. The fucking... The Switch, pain in the ass. I don't know. Also, why did they make the SD card inside the battery pack? I think that's a really silly thing. This is a new Nintendo 3DS. That's why I'm like, what? Why did they do that? Well, the old school one used to be just right here. Why did they do that? I don't fucking know. So I have to open that motherfucker up if I want to change the SD cards. But I got a big one, so it doesn't mind. All right, let's go. Oh, we already saved. We're fine. Wow. That looks like a carnival thing. They're being a silly, goofy mood. How many episodes are there? 5? 5. I know that one. I know that one. I know this one. The Hound of Baskervilles. I know that one. I think I've seen a movie of it. 5 in each game. Is there only 2 games? Right? It's not a trilogy for this one, right? 2 games. Okay. That's weird to me that it's not a trilogy. Which, I don't know. We could get another one. Let me move my water.
Glancing over my records of the late last
Records
century,
of the late last
by the
century.
events of a certain bitter winter.
I would like to see a
A
trilogy.
murder in a carriage.
I have a Dr.
As it
Pepper.
sped through dense London fog in the dead of night.
Dead of
Though the
night.
victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple.
I feel like my
witnesses
British
to the
accent
crime
is actually not
itself.
bad. I don't. Maybe it is bad. Y'all can tell me if it's bad.
None could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner.
I think it's bad,
I've
but it's cute.
Mr. Sherlock Sholmes once said of the incident,
I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude.
the beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together.
Is this like point of view of Herlock technically? Oh, we got a movie again. I like how the movies are pretty nice looking.
Amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
That's what their voices sound like?
Look at all the steam locomotives.
I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that one.
Incredible.
I'm not sure if I agree with this. How do y'all feel about it? That is not what I thought they would sound like. They're just Japanese British. It feels weird for them to be British, though.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
It feels weird.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
I guess they wouldn't be learning American English. You're right. That would make sense.
My pleasure.
If they stood there for 120 something years, then I would have met them.
Yes.
Thought so.
Wait, I am curious now.
Hope you enjoy your stay.
I'm curious now.
Welcome to the center of the world.
I need
Great
to.
Britain's mighty capital, London.
I need to hear someone whose second language is English, but they learn British English. I want to hear them talk. I want to hear them talk. Does Europe have like a lot of tourism? I guess it would, huh? I guess it would. So they go water. Like a non-English speaking, like I saw a TikTok that was like I saw a TikTok that was like for some reason I thought British Spanish would sound like this, and it was very funny to me. It's so fucking funny to me. I wish I had it. What a bottle. ¿Dónde está? Biblioteca. I need to stop making fun of the British. I can't do it. I know there's like a lot of British sub accents. It's like American sub accents, right? I don't know though, because I feel like as social media grows, these sub accents of America are kind of like not as obvious to our generation, like below 30. I feel like, I don't know. But then again, I like talk to 18-year-olds and they're like very country style sounding, so maybe it just depends. I don't know. Which is really crazy because it's so small. It's like it's just a tiny little country. My favorite accent, I love a Valley Girl accent. I love a vocal fry. I love a Valley Girl accent. I don't think they sound stupid. I hate that people think Valley Girls are like stupid. I fucking love Valley Girl accents. Lima Malicious is a British streamer who basically has an American accent because of them. Right, exactly what I'm talking about. I haven't watched Limes. When did they stream? I'm assuming she goes by she, her. When did she stream? I haven't watched a lot of VTubers, I'm realizing. Boobot, thanks. I was scared the chat bubbles wasn't working because it wasn't working earlier. But then now us Americans just randomly go into a British accent because of social media. Streams late morning. Yeah, I'm never making that. Let's be real. I'm never making that. I follow one artist. She's British Korean, I believe. She kind of grew big. She wasn't big when I first watched her. Now she's partners. She's got like a shit ton of viewers now. But she's British, and maybe I just need to watch her. I'll just copy her accent. I mean, a lot of Japanese students are English from Australians and Brits because they have a ton of cultural exchange and they're closest. But I don't live there, so I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Okay, accents are a funny little thing. Because I learned Spanish from 2 of my semesters were from a Spaniard. And then my first semester of Spanish, mind you, this is a 6-hour course. It wasn't like a 3-hour course. It was a 6-hour course. My first semester of Spanish teacher was Chilean. So, but all my friends are Mexican, basically. One of my friends is Nicaraguan. But my friends from high school, she was Mexican, and then my closest friend is Mexican. So I feel like all those accents on Spanish are very, very, very different. They teach Spanish, like Spaniard Spanish, though it's a colonizer language, but they definitely say words differently than my friend who her native language is Spanish would be like, what the fuck? There's a Brazilian children's YouTuber apparently has Portuguese kids speaking with a Brazilian accent. What is a Brazilian accent? I don't know if I know one. I don't know if I know. It is like Peppa Pig. We're gonna get a generation of kids because of Bluey speaking like Australian. I'm saying it now because I love Bluey. I was watching Bluey today though, and I was like, I don't think I know actually what an Australian accent kind of sounds like. I feel like it's even. Oh man, I got pink on lip gloss. Oh well. It's a little different than I thought it would be. But I think linguistically I can't hear the difference between European Portuguese and Brazilian. See, I don't know enough about accent that way. Other than I knew someone who was taking Portuguese in college. I was like, interesting choice. Because I don't know, it was just an interesting choice. I didn't even know my university like had anything other than Spanish and French. They had Italian too. My Spanish teachers were all from America, but literally last year one of my Spanish teachers taught Spanish. The class took a trip to Spain and they just stayed over there and became a translator. Now they just post artsy. Man, Spain is a beautiful country though. It is a beautiful country. All my teachers were literally like from like he was from Spain, and man, I had a rough time until I finally like talked to him, and then he was like chill. My first teacher was chill as fuck. She was from Chile. I saw someone was like, you don't say Chile when you're speaking like this, like how I'm speaking, because it sounds fucking weird, but you know. She's from Chile, and she was cool as fuck. She listened to a lot of the same music I do. That's like City and Color, kind of like esque. She was cool as fuck. Hard as fuck class, but she was cool as fuck. Spanish made me talk to people. I don't want to talk to people. Even though it's literally a language it's literally a class teaching you to talk. But I was forced to learn another language. I was forced. Even though it is kind of important. Man, I want to go to Spain. I don't want to. He was like telling us about all the different parts of Spain, and I kind of forgot about it. Okay, we're in the 18th of February. Took us a month. At 9 a.m. in the British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. So I just speak British the whole time. I'm not speaking British the whole time. Why are you gasping? What an incredible place. It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. This place is breathtaking. Is it loud? Is it loud? Or is it like normal? I think it's normal. This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress. There's stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. Why wouldn't there be stone buildings? They've only been built in the few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. I need to brush up on world history. This is Big Ben. Big Ben is a building you can go in? I don't know anything about Great Britain. Don't come for me. Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know anything. How did I take a fucking world history and British relations and war for I think it was 3 semesters I took that class. I don't know a damn thing. Did I go to college? Did I get a degree? Do I remember anything? No. The example, like this is quite a different impact. Wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from. Oh, I get her now. Every time I learn history or geography, it's like one through one ear, out through the other. I'm like, what? What? I wrote a paper about it. Done. I wasn't there with you, so I'm just. I could lie on the internet and say I am a college. I have a master's. I do not have a master's. I ain't going to grad school. You don't go to grad school because you're bored. You go to grad school because you need it for something. That's my advice for anybody who thinks they want to go to grad school. A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from. It's certainly unfamiliar. I don't know how to sit today. I don't know how to sit. But I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials. There's gears. What is this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruhodo-san, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. Do you think they faced racism for being Japanese? I mean, literally Great Britain went to war with them. I'm guessing. Like what? Less than half a century? Maybe half a century later. Not yet, right? I don't know. Great Britain did go to war with them eventually. Recently-ish, in this, between this modern time and this time period, they went to war. Literally halfway, I would say, almost. The Lord Chief Justice. We had instructions to report here at this time if circumstances were different. We were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan. But Cosmo can't. Wait, there is a racist in this game. There is one. Oh my god. Is he racist against them? Is he a prosecutor and he's racist? I'll find out. But Cosmo can't. I know it's a racist vampire. I know. I know it's coming. There's several racists. You're right. The first lady was racist. Did we find out why she tried to kill the professor? In fact, xenophobia is the main theme. That would make a lot of sense, right? Would Cosmo have been able to handle it? He is just baby girl. So instead, we are here in a different capacity. As envoy to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. We did not find out last case, I don't think. We do find out though. It is a weird thing. She just fucking killed him. She just ended his life. It smells like plastic. I'm smelling a lot of plastic right now. I think it's the lipstick I put on earlier, and I think it went bad. I think I need to throw it out, but it's Animal Crossing. I can't find the heart to throw it out. Having delivered his or his... Oh, I already did. I don't know. So we'd have to return to Japan. If we want to remain here in Great Britain, I have to take Cosmo's place as the law student selected for the study tour. Yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer, which is what I've been studying for. Here in Great Britain, it is Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. Gotcha. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London. I hope I'm up to scratch. Let me see what he looks like. Ah, good morning. Sorry for keeping you. Oh. I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies. Oh, no. Don't mention it. We're never happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do. How fortunate. Strong heart. So injections, I'm... Maelstrom? Mael Strongheart? Mail? Is his name Mail? Mail? I am a Mael Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. Ugh, and I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Come on, Mr. Naruhodo, don't be a mouse. Oh, it's an honor to meet you. Oh, no, To meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. I need to scoot my mic stand closer when I play Switch games. I keep forgetting. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I need to catch up on VOD, so I'm going to leave my laptop on and lurk while I do errand. Thank you, Woe Bestie. I hope you have a good errand run. And the VODs should be updated on the YouTube channel. Yesterday's will be out tomorrow at 10 a.m. And this one will be out on Saturday at 10 a.m. That is the goal. Have a good errand run. I was trying to figure out what I want to talk like this man. Is he scary? Is he like Von Karma? Well, Mr. Naruhodo. Welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Ah, yeah, thank you. Ah, yeah. What if we made Ryunosuke Southern? I'm not doing that. What? Why am I allowed to do this right now? So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London? Oh, well, help. I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city. He's just like me for real. Simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh? We had a wonderful view of some of London's streets from the carriage on the way here from the station. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say I'm almost lost for words. He's scary. He's giving like the meme when blue-eyed people are like that. Yeah, he's giving that. I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water, and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded. Oh yeah, astounded is the word. Thanks for saving me there, Suzada-san. And everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor. Vigor. They spell it funny. Yes, there's much excitement about the upcoming great exhibition we'll be hosting here in London. Great exhibition. Cultural and technological... Oh my god. Can I read technology? Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop. I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's gonna be. Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world. Even if you do say so yourself. The sun will never set on a great empire. Perhaps it is fate in these progressive times we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun. The rising sun. Lord Chief Justice, I think you were expecting a student of law for the study tour, weren't you? Absolutely. Mr. Kazuma Asagi, if my memory serves. That's right. The British government has already been telegraphed a full report of the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores. That's amazing. The news reached him before we even arrived. Was Japan really not in that advanced in technology? When did Japan start like excelling in technology? My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news. Yeah. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person. They tell me you Japanese people have protocol and courtesy. I see that it's true. It's with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means the study tour arrangement can no longer proceed. If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart. Damn, she is girl bossing. What do you have to say? It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal. Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo. This is it then, the moment of truth. Should I move me down here? Like here? Oh fuck. I'm breaking things. There we go. Let's just move me here. We're continuing the study tour. The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart. Is he related to Apollo? Don't spoil that. I haven't even played Apollo. I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead. Don't misunderstand me, Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead. But without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean. Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country, and that was Mr. Asaki. At least, that is what I've been led to understand. Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man. Me. Mr. Naruhodo! I could ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I gonna say? If there is someone else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer, it's... me. It's me. I can do it. Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but no qualifications, you say, and yet you still claim to be a lawyer. I want a fidget toy. I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And I had Kazuma to help me, and I was the accused. But glossing over the details, I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on board the SS Burya. The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe, not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also compel several years of training. I realize it's far too short of a period of time. Is he a DILF? I need to know more about him. He's kind of scary. He's giving villain. He's a bad guy, but I don't know yet. But I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Asaki's journey had only just begun. Coming here on the study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance. That's all I'm asking for. Please. 31 seconds. Sorry. Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. It was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in a good stead as a lawyer. Stead, I think. Oh, thanks. Oh, thanks. So you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. Entertainment. Let me ask you one thing first, sir. Yes. You say you intend to do everything Mr. Asaki planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path? Well, yes, that's my intention. I see. Am I imagining things? Or did his expression just alter a fraction there all of a sudden? I wasn't paying attention. Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. Test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. Really? Really? What's this test? So, what form will the test take exactly? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well, defending people, of course. Well said. So, let's have you defend someone. Huh? Your timing is perfect. In fact, there's an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defenses yet, so this will be welcome news. Today? Straight away? If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test. What could be simpler? How do I get myself into these situations? Well, could I ask what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart? Yes, good question. I remember. It's a murder trial. It's always a murder trial. When is it not a murder trial? A murder? An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose. You can't lose. That's easy to say. But I should mention, just in case, the defendant is found guilty, he will of course be sentenced to capital punishment. Damn, y'all already got capital punishment? One time in Ace Attorney 3 where Oh my god. I kind of forgot about that. I need a refresher, maybe, on the original trilogy. Oh my god. I need a refresher. Capital punishment. He'll be put to death. You don't think they killed a lot in this time period? I feel like it's kind of crazy. Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Yeah, presumably you read that much in your short C-based introduction to British law. We can't possibly agree to such a test. We would only be toying with a man's life. Do they not have the death penalty in Japan? Do they? I'm the Lord Chief Justice and I've decided it's acceptable. You can't do that, can you? There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose. So the defendant may live or die, depending on how well I perform. If I lose, he'll be hanged. That sucks. Mr. Naruhodo, you come to be claiming to be a lawyer. Yeah. You want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. You say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asagi. Asagi? I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen. He's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be? Yeah, I guess. Do I agree? I'll do it. Alright, if I have to give you a decision now, my answer is... I can't get the words out. Okay, you're a bitch. 15 seconds. Your decision making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry. You have noble intentions but lack the resolve to see him through. Excuse me? The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. The conversation is over. Oh my god, Ryunosuke. How'd you fuck it up? Thank you for offering me a chance. Alright. Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry, Mrs. Sato. What could I do? It's alright. I understand. You do? It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, but resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it. What are you trying to say, madam? Madam? I think that's what Miss Susato means, is that no matter how badly I'd like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand in and dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. Okay, Puppy think he's still material. Puppy is into it. Juju literally asked. I was like, I don't know yet. I don't know. Maybe he's not my type of man. I don't know. This looks like Miles Edgeworth and Damon Gauntz. Not the Nepo baby. Not the Nepo baby. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time. Lord Chief Justice. What? That is not how I thought that would go. Wait, Mr. Naruhodo. Was there something else? It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. But I just said I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. So he would die. At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. If that happens, there's only one possible outcome. He will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down. That's awful. But that is the truth. Truth. That is the truth, isn't it? Why does it have to be like this? I don't know. I don't make the rules. Please don't expect an answer to every question. The cold, hard truth of the matter is there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. I think he would sound like the actor who plays Snape. I don't remember his name. I'm bad with names today. I've been really bad with names today. Me and Jeremy have been like talking. I'm like, what was that person's name? What was that person's name? I've been really bad with names today. He kind of rude. Some people are into that. I'm not super into that. Unless it's a lady. Because I'm like, yeah, you girl boss. When a man is rude to me, it's like, no. No. Is that there's only one person now with the chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you. Are you off today, puppy? I'm really his only hope. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. Sir? What do you say now, madam? No. Oh, well. What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, and I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Oh. I don't want to give her a dumb voice. Girl voice. Probably gonna lurk till I fall asleep. Take a nap. Take a nap. I feel like I need a nap. The walk that I had today, I got a blister because I was wearing crappy socks. My bad. I've been wearing my Tims. Yes, I have a pair of Tims. Do I look like someone who wears Tims? Probably not, but I do have a pair of Tims. And, because they're good work boots and they can go through mud and it's really fucking muddy. I love my Tims. I think they're all black. Now there's 3. That's so fucking funny. But I was wearing like really thin fucking socks with them, and I've had this pair of Tims for like years. And they're still in like really good condition. But I got a blister from wearing really thin socks and it fucking hurts like a bitch. It's a bitch. I love my Tims. I think if you need a good work boot, I think they're a good investment. Especially if you're gonna be like in muddy conditions. Because it's fucking muddy outside. Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Or are you standing there looking at your clock? So venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves. I need new casual Tims and probably for work. They're like a good work shoe. They really are. Doesn't matter, I feel like, your job. Maybe jobs, maybe corporate jobs, they wouldn't be great, but they are a good retail. I got them for retail, technically. And and I use them outside a lot. As much as I love my silly raw shoes, they hurt. See, and yeah, that's why I'm like, damn, Tims are good. Hi, Ari. Are you gonna? You can make fun of my British accent if you'd like, Ari, because it's gonna be bad. Because this whole country, we're in London, so everyone that's white here probably has a British accent. Wait, what do you mean by Ross shoes? Are they shoes you bought at Ross? The Old Bailey. What the hell is an Old Bailey? We're gonna do this, Mr. Naruhodo. We must leave at once. Okay. Do we move? The Old Bailey, London's highest criminal court with an illustrious past. This is where I'm to take my test to prove my worthiness. Why do they call it that? What does Bailey mean? That's a name. That's a name. It's February 18th. They look pretty nice with bad sole. Are they tennis shoes? Or are they like something else? I don't know. The worst shoes I would wear to work. I wore my demonias once. Bad idea. Won't be doing that again. They were loud too. And then My docks are not as like as bulletproof as my Tims are. I don't know why. They are more shiny. It is named after the street on which it is located, which itself follows the line of original fortified wall or the bailey of the city. This initial location of the courthouse close to Newgate prison allowed prisoners to be conveniently brought to the courtroom for the... I see. So a bailey is a wall. So people named Bailey are just wall. That's unfortunate. Oh, thank goodness. We're in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins. I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were gonna rattle loose. Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? No, I didn't. I wasn't there. Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. What the fuck is a guinea? It's one of my favorite lines from Sherlock Holmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly. Is Sherlock Holmes... What is that, like, what is that called? When people, like, take a character and be them? Is it just a compulsive liar or something? A guinea is like a money. It's not a guinea pig. You could pay me a guinea pig, I would be kind of happy about it. The parents really said brick. Is brick an insult? It is, I think. I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were going to die and we had to pay gold. Well, at least we arrived here. Yeah, I suppose there's that. Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all. This is British. It's British. So this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants to wait in is grand. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever is about to be sentenced. Feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed. Did Britain colonize the Guineas? Like the plains, oh my god. The islands? Off-brand combat style is like Tim's but for I've Hoka. I've heard good things about Hoka. I'm thinking about getting some because I'm looking for shoes to walk with. I want to be more outdoorsy for my little mental brain. I would like to go to more state parks and walk. So I've heard good things about Hokas. Feels like only yesterday that I was about to be crushed. I do too, Loki. Do you have a garden? No, I should. I have like a planter box outside, but it's from the previous tenant and I'm lazy with it. But I do have one plant. I have a snake plant and I have a bunch of pots and seeds. I want to grow basil because basil's been a hard fucking herb to find. So I'm trying to think about that. Like odd neighborhood. Ah, I love the odd neighborhood. REI? I don't even know if we have a REI. Is there an REI? There's gotta be one. In the Mall of America? There's gotta be one in the Mall of America, right? You, puppy, you literally live in a state that's like, people hike all the time though. Shit, if I lived there too, I would be hiking all the time, I feel like. Yeah, there's one in the mall. I was like, there should be one in the... I hate going to the Mall of America. It's big, it's busy. It's really busy. Whoever the man you're about to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment. I almost wanted to give him a Jacksepticeye voice. I'm not gonna do it though. Top of the morning to you, madam, sir. Who is this? Who is... What are yous doing following me here? Things are a bit fair desperate, are they? Sorry? Would you look at those expressionless faces from the east, are yous? We're from Japan, yeah. He's Irish. Japan, is it? Right, say no more. They didn't give him like stereotypical Irish features. That's very nice. So, how much do you need? No, we're just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself. So I have no place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all while in a strange, faraway land. Doesn't stop me from taking vans and ruining them in the water fronts instead of just being... Oh man, my vans have been through it all. Well, actually, we have a place to stay. No, we haven't found a place. No. Tis grand, tis grand. Let me start by giving you 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. 1,000 guineas? Please, Miss Susato, you don't have to shout. But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo. What? Tis nothing to me at all. I like to ensure that I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I have enough wealth to build the city of London 2 or 3 times over. I think he's scamming us. Could that much rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Don't throw that at me. Wasn't this on the 3DS? Would that happen in 3D? And then it's like, ooh, that hit me in the eye. Don't get me wrong, fella. I forgot how to do an Irish accent. Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it to you, no strings attached. I'll be wanting you to do something for me. Oh? To be honest, it's a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, is for my good self here. I'll be in the dock. So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. I'm forgetting how to do an accent. Well, the thing is, don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me. Nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial is going to start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up. I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant? Luster and blazes, do you not know who I am? Me? One of London's biggest names? I know. We've only just arrived in the city, you see. I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. There we go. I was like, what does the sentence mean? But just next to Hyde Park there in the center of London is another beautiful park. Does this make this game an isekai too? Is this an isekai? No, it's not isekai. Oh my god, why did I say it like that? Pulling a mushy last night, naming Kazuma Kamuza. Sorry, what? I'm evil fated because he calls everything an isekai. This can't be an isekai. Fake beef. Tofu. Beyond beef. Impossible burger. Beyond beef. He's called... I feel like I need to listen to an Irish accent. He's called... It's called McGilded Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did. An entire park in central London? A city of smiles. That's my vision for London. There, nothing Magnus McGild would do. Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people. Queer? What the fuck does that mean? I mean, really extraordinary. But now they got the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGilded. What is the matter with London police? I ask you. Juju. Alright, don't pass out. Mr. Narhodo. I guess giving her a British accent. I'm not doing it though. Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce yourselves while the gentleman catches his breath. Good idea. Damn, he's freaking out. Mr. McGilded. The thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. He's like, so, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best. What was I saying after? What was I after saying, you daft Egypt? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Well, yeah, but I wasn't really offering to just stand up there next to you. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry? I know what you're thinking. This Chancellor of a fellow claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why the blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all of England? Because he did it. That's the only explanation. Well, no, I'm not saying that. Not at all. Although it's a little strange, to be honest. Why don't you have a lawyer, I mean? That would be the fault of the Reaper. The Reaper? Aye, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Bardock von Zeeks. He's the prosecutor. Prosecutor von Beeks? Is that what it said? The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? When von Zeeks, Van Zeeks. When von Zeeks stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. What? So, it's reached a desperate situation where there's no one willing to stand in defense against the fella at all. You could say he's living legend of the Old Bailey. Goodness, Lord Barrack von Zeeks. Must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then. It's serious law. This is real. Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed. Cursed? What on earth? Defendant is summoned and his counsel. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial is about to begin. His counsel, that would be me. Oh, 'tis time. Well then, fella. Don't let me down. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened. Until you showed your face, I'd made up me mind, so I had... Sorry? I decided I have to defend myself in there. How would that have worked? But then you made an appearance. A student of law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident, I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So, don't get cold feet now, please. Please? Some words I don't know how it would sound in an Irish accent. I literally know nothing about the case, or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him. How's it already been an hour? Oh my god. Mr. Naruhodo. The man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yeah, something that Cosmo would never have allowed to happen. But... Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you will lose your right to stand. I'll be right there. Alright, let's get this case started. It's happening then. My first trial in a British court. Hope you're watching over me, Cosmo. Because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. We'll figure it out. He looks like it, sorta. He does look like Red White. The court? Crunchy JPEGs. Delicious. Could it be an isekai because he's thrown into Great Britain? Could we argue that? He's thrown into Great Britain when it should have been Kazuma. Could we argue that? So, this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. Wait, give me an example of one of Fated Awakening's isekai takes. I would like to know. But British people... Are you sure? I'm just kidding. They're just racist in Japan. It's very true. They've Fire Emblem Three Houses, sorta. I can see that. Pokemon is one. The newest one. I can see that. Did you see the DLC? I didn't even be engaged. I'm like in the last like 2 chapters. Did you see the Fire Emblem Engage DLC announcement? Like, what the fuck? Obviously spoilers for Fire Emblem Engage, but what the fuck? I was like, this is like fiction. This is like fanfic. Fully fanfic. And I'm kind of interested in it. The centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different than the Supreme Court in Japan. I wanted to know, Juju, what take of Faded Awakening's isekai takes is like one of your least favorites. Are they getting weird with it? Yeah, the story. Spoilers. You play as the Fell Dragon instead. You play, instead of being the Divine Dragon in the original storyline, you play as the Fell. You play on the evil side. I think, is from what I'm understanding of the DLC. I'm kind of interested in it. I need to be engaged. I just am lazy. Feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes the words redundant. I'm playing with a screwdriver right now. Anyways, it's not hurting me, so it's fine. I'm just mindlessly... Hobart wants something. What do you want? You want me to move my shoes? There you go. Now you can stand by me if you want. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. I still need to play the game. The whole game kind of looks like a fanfic from the out. It kind of, sort of. It's also, there's art of good bad characters engaged that makes me think I can be your Ingle. Yeah, it is literally that. It is literally that. Because it is literally that. It is literally, oh, we're good guys and we're bad guys. It is literally that. It's not my favorite Fire Emblem. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm kind of the, I don't really care about the design aspect because I like some of it. I just think the story is boring. It's not really that engaging to me and I'm not really attached to any of the characters. Strategy-wise, it's kind of fun, sorta, but like, feels like a chore sometimes. So that's why I kind of stopped playing it. Whatever the country determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. They just let me have a sword in a British court of law. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh yeah, what? He's freaking out. Your eyes look ready to pop out of your fucking head. I know, but I just can't help it. What's the judge look like? Oh! Oh. 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 In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and the defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Who is this man? I can fix him, maybe? Is he racist? The prosecution is fully prepared. That must be the Reaper. He really does fully look prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? We're here! What the fuck is that question? Huh? Yeah, duh! That's what I... He asked if the defense was ready. I couldn't be further from ready if I tried. Okay, green eyes. Open your mouth again? Those eyes please me. Is he fetishizing the Japanese people? Nipponese. I'm not sure if I can completely give him a British accent this whole time, because I'm assuming because he's a prosecutor, he's gonna be talking a lot. Not the Asian, but that's what I'm saying. I'm like, is he give a very white man coming up to me and be like, I like how little your eyes are. Very that. You're gonna be saying the word Nipponese. It feels weird. It feels wrong. Puppy, you're part Japanese, aren't you? Don't worry, he's about to be 180 and be racist. Oh man. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of sacrificial lamb. Did you watch Castlevania? No, I did not. I don't know a lot about Castlevania. My tummy's hurting. I think Chipotle's hurting me. A whole shiver ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes. Like 1/4, a quarter. What if a white man came up to you and said, I like your eyes? Nipponese. I do need to consume British media. You gotta go to the main menu, listen to the voice lines. There's voice lines? What? Now, Mr. McGilded. Yes, my lord. You stand accused of murder. Murder. You stand accused of murder, capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? Oh my god. As I've always said, my lord, 'tis a grand thing to give it. Wow, I messed that up. Let me get to that again. As I've always said, my lord, 'tis a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Yeah, true, puppy. And a full art book with spoilers and diasigns. Even it's in this in the game. I'm scared to look at it. Should I wait till after game to look at that? The internet crashed. The internet crashed for a second. You might have to refresh if it's like bad. If it's like lagging a lot, I would refresh. I think the voice lines aren't spoilery, but yeah, don't look at the art. Okay. Maybe we'll look at it at the end of the game. I don't want to accidentally spoil myself. Even if the fellow's a student from some little island off in the far east, it's not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give these less fortunate a fair chance. I'd like to think that acts of chivalry do the greatest British Empire proud. Listen to Mr. McGilded. What a fine gentleman London has in him. Did you hear that? He donated £5,000 to the government the other day. Mother, please, may we go play in McGilded Park? Seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. That's definitely welcome news, and he certainly has a way with words. The Mason system. What does that mean? I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. Because we got a fucking vampire dude. I don't know if he's a vampire, but... Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded, in most laudable sentiments. Now... Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you... A jury? That you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? Yes, my lord, if the task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready. At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree. Any criminals here would be wishing they never set eyes on me. Okay. Sir, why are you drinking? I feel a chill. Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these mitts for my grandson. To get asked, is your name Japanese? It sounds like from an anime. Not the anime comment. Not the anime. I have a very white name. Obviously, my name is Molly. My last name's even whiter. So, I've never gotten that, but I have gotten like the, what are you? Where are you from? Those kind of comments a lot. Number 3. And so does number 6. I don't want to call jurors sir. Well, someone with a knife and someone with drink. I didn't even think about the knife, but then I was like, I have a katana, so I can't judge him for having a knife. I forgot how to do an Irish accent, And Irish. Top of the morning. Who else is Irish? Top of the morning. Mr. Naruhodo, these people are the jury. Yeah, I get it. That's something we don't have in Japan. That's right. I've only read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. Great Britain was the first one to do jury. I guess that makes sense. So the defendant, it's not great. Is it Great Britain at this time? Or is it just Britain? Is there a difference? Is it the British? Who took a history class? Me? I don't remember. They don't got TSA. So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view. How exactly do the jurors give their verdict? That I don't know, but I do want to say I feel like no, I took it up till the 1920s. I should have known about this. I think I got to World War I, and then I didn't take anything past like World War I. I think. I'm sure it'll become clear as the trial progresses. Yes. Prosecutor Van Zix. Isn't Von like V-A-N? Like that's Dutch, isn't it? My lord. It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you'd renounced your fame. I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in the capacity. So what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstance in which the court should be aware? Pre 9/11, yeah, something like that, right? Probably several. I cannot believe TSA is a thing because of 9/11. That's like a wild concept to me. Like I was born before 9/11. A lot of people here were not. Wow. Babies. Anyways. Anyway. It is wild to me because like Jeremy, when he was younger, he could fly a plane by himself. He was allowed to. I can't like they took like you could take your children up to the gate to fly a plane by themselves. And you could have a family member pick you up at the gate. That is like a wild concept to me. How old is he? Jeremy is 27. God, how old are we? I don't remember when TSA super got like crazy. We were about like... I remember when 9/11 happened. I remember when 9/11 happened. They still do that? No, they don't. You can't go to the gate without a ticket. You can't get past all that without a ticket, I thought. At a small airport, not the big ones. I'm like, you have to have a ticket. They make you scan a ticket. Your ass flew to Japan. What fucking airport did you go through? What the fuck? If it's a private plane. My economic, like my fucking sitting in the back of the plane ass. You think I'm riding a private plane? What? Nah. What? I swear they make you scan tickets now. I swear. You can't just go through. I mean, no shot. He was flying a 747. What? I don't know anything about planes. Maybe. I just know when TSA, like when 9/11 happened. I remember when 9/11 happened. Because we went home early and no one told me what happened. And I didn't realize what it was until we got home, and that's when they told us kind of what happened. And as I was like 5 or 6, I don't remember exactly how old I was, but when my aunt and uncle told us what happened and why we're home from school, we were like, okay. And then we went and played games. So I'm so confused. Maybe I'm confused. You need your ticket, but I didn't have any company on my way to the gate or through this. No, okay, so what I meant, like, you can still do that when you're a kid, yes. But you can't have, like, so you can't have your parent, like, come with you. That's what I'm saying. Like, someone went with Jeremy to the gate. He flew by himself, which is fine. But no one went with him to the gate, and no one, or someone went with him to the gate when he was, like, 5 or 6. And when he got to the place he was going, I don't remember where he was going, someone could pick him up at the gate instead of waiting for him to come out of the airport, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Like, he flew by himself, yeah. Then you could still fly by yourself if you're a child, but it's generally not as safe anymore to do that. My dumbass thingy. I know. Like a little kid. I think he was older than 5, but like he was a little kid, and it was before TSA got really strict. Like really strict. No, oh, I didn't mean he flew one. No. He went on a plane by himself. But like they walked him to the gate, like older, like an older company. I don't remember which one of his family members, but they walked him to the gate to fly the plane. If Jeremy was a pilot and he's a nurse, and I feel like this man is too good for me. Like, you can't fly without a guardian under the age of... Really? I didn't know that. Because like his sisters are young. They're around teenager age, and we've been trying to figure out how we could get them up there, because it's very expensive to fly there just to fly back, you know. We've been trying to figure out how to do this. But like, yeah, they're I think they're a little too young to ride a plane, technically. It's overwhelming almost too. Airports can be kind of overwhelming. A train wouldn't be a bad idea. It just takes forever. Jeremy, I'm sorry, I should have clarified. Like, didn't actively fly the plane, flew on the plane. But like, yeah, you can't have somebody walk you to the gate anymore, which I think is like wild. I don't know. TSA is a weird thing. Obviously a lot of us are queer and trans too, so TSA is like even extra weird. I leave that to your imagination, my lord. So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 fucking years. Artemis Fowl. I've never read that. Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback? Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo. As you were sure, the court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. As the summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. We must be the only ones in here who aren't aware. The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks known in the community as Thrice Fired Mason. Sorry, Thrice? He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be the almost indestructible. What? What is going on? Oh, okay. The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at the time. What the fuck is an omnibus? A dagger that had been thrust in the victim's abdomen was believed to be the ultimate cause of death. Bus is short for omnibus? You got me fucked up right now. I thought they maybe couldn't keep a job. Me. Here is an autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland. Wait, he died in Scotland? Thank you, counsel. I shall accept this in the photograph as evidence. Autopsy has been entered. Gives the cause of death as internal hemorrhaging as a result of a single stab wound to the abdomen. Scotland Yard is the name of the... I don't know shit. Did I? That's why I was like, why are we handling this game? Maybe I don't know shit. I don't know shit. Did I take a British history class? Maybe. I'm not sure. I feel like maybe that memory was fabricated. I feel like I need to look at my, maybe we didn't really talk about the police, because That's why I was like, why are we handling something if he died in Scotland? I don't know. That's why I was confused. Alright, let's look at our court record. And one further item of evidence is the prosecution wishes to submit these as well. And these are... Good lord. His wig came off. Is that blood, counsel? Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. Maybe because Scotland is a party of the UK. I was like, party? Party! I was like, what do you mean by that? I was like, governmental party? Is it still part of the UK? I actually don't know. Why is it called Scotland Yard? I don't know. Mr. McGilded's gloves had blood on them? Sir, why do your gloves have blood on them? Groceries. I will accept these as evidence as well. Other gloves the defendant was wearing at the time of the incident. There's a blood stain on the right glove. How did I get into this? I'm backed into a corner before I even started. Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2? Obviously, one of the passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. His name is Mason, even though, that's masonry. That's a funny little joke. Haha, the other. Don't point at me like that. Was the accused Magnus McGilded? Well, rather damning circumstances to say the least. Defendant, what say you? What say you? Whitehall Place had an exit called Great Scotland Yard, named because it originally housed the Scottish royal family when they visited England's capital. Extra expansion was used as the main. Gotcha. My brother and I made up complicated where he had IBS and it made it more likable to me. I kind of like him. He could be hot. I'm problematic though. Scotland has been part of the Great Britain since 1707. Really? That's a long fucking time. But they have a very complicated history. Scotland and Ireland do. Jeremy has a popsicle and I'm really jealous, but I'm not eating a popsicle on stream. You're not getting away with it, you freaks. No. Literally every time I see him do racist and I cry with Jig Boy because he's like so good with it. Why did they make him I mean, I know why they made him racist. Because it's probably true. Well, of course, I have no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGilded. To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening, but whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness and I always succumb. I don't know how a Irish person would say that. Are you claiming to have been asleep? Tease the motion of the carriage, my lord. Lit, and so it is. And when I opened my eyes again, 'twas a desperate sight for me. The body of a man I never laid eyes on before in me life. Now ask yous, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I'd reached out to give the man a hand. Bug on the gloves and if the man had been killed. Unfortunately. Is this man gonna make me say something racist on stream? That statement of the drive, this is only the beginning. What? There were multiple witnesses. How? To the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. I thought there was only 2 people. I do like being able to see why he's hunched over like that. Order! Order! When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage. And there were witnesses to the crime. It was not just a case of compelling evidence. Don't point at me like that. It's not the nail in the coffin for the accused. Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. Right, I feel like I could fix him. think I could fix him. Maybe. That's all it would take, right? A half Asian, half white person, maybe? I think we will hear testimony from the witnesses first of all. You wish... Chloe is standing in the hall staring at me. She's staring at me. Why are you staring at me? Oh, no, she ran away. Okay. She's like... She's staring at me. Your wish is my command. Oh wait, he has a sword too. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once. Oh, why are you cold in here? Okay, these are obviously British people, right? I don't know. Witnesses, your name and occupations. My name is, well, everyone calls me Beppo. I drive an omnibus in the East End. Bruce Fairplay. I'm the banker in the city. My name's first. Lady first. Lady first. I make hats for gents. We are in London. You're right. This is just white people. White people central. Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witness to the aforementioned incident. I thought there was no one else there. Maybe I misunderstood, Mr. Van Zeeks. Is that correct? Yes, sir? Quite right. Yes, sir. That's right, sir. Very well, then. Let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw. I've given him very many different voices. Witness... Wow. Okay, Gothic font. What the witnesses saw. It was last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers. I remember it well. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. And out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts. That's more Australian. That's right. He stabbed him. Is this like a kid in a trench coat moment? Like, what is going on here? He stabbed him. I screamed. Couldn't help it. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus. And then I saw it too. Was there motorized? Yeah, there had to be. What? They were horse-drawn carriages, right? And the steamboats. Unambiguous testimony, I must say. Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes. I'd like to ask a question if I may. Yes, counsel? Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Yeah, me neither. Why not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it? As he had been clearly stated from the outset, yes. Well, in that case, how could those two witnesses possibly have seen what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage. How quaint. I'd read that civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own. A good century? But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Huh? Tell me, my Nipponese friend, have you ever traveled in an omnibus? Well, no. We only arrived in London this morning. No matter. I've arranged for us to all see for ourselves the actual scene of the crime, that is. Huh, what do you mean? The actual scene? Carriage is designed to be moved after all. Presumably you understand that much. Yeah. Omnibus in which this bloody crime took place is here today in this very building. Here? The entire carriage? Bailiff? Bring forth stricken omnibus. When this guy says, my learned friend, that's something British lawyers say in real life court. It's not a dig. My learned friend? Oh. So that's an omnibus. The omnibus. That's something British lawyers say in real life court. I know nothing about British court. But this is fantasy. Right? I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing. Do we say any weird stuff like that in America? I don't want to call it weird. Do we say anything unique? Like Britain. Fantasy. Did you hear that, Ari? Do we say anything like that would be considered like my learned friend in an American court? As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and carry up to... Horses! We are fantasy, you're right. It can carry up to 8 passengers. 4 seated inside the enclosed cabin, and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus. The double-decker. Okay. I should point out to our foreign guest. We call everything something different. You're right. America's just quirky. America's just quirky like that. Man, I really am the epitome of a stupid fucking American. And not a good thing. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be smarter. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying. I didn't know. There's so much to learn. So little time. There's a skylight in the roof, allowing a view of the interior from the seats above. A skylight? Oh. 1 stream at a time. Exactly. Penny drops, at least, I see. And even then, America's confusing because each state has different fucking things than other states. So it's even like, I don't know. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop on this omnibus when the murder took place. See, I need to... I think I need to stop doing the British accent so I actually like stick in my brain what's happening here. The 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on the omnibus when the murder took place. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. So they looked in the window, supposedly? Through the skylight. That makes perfect sense. Well, Consul, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced a crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom. Yeah, I'm like, wow. This is wild. There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. That is the prosecution's wish. Dude, put some glue down. Damn. Make that glue. Get some glue. The glue has lead in it. They die. It's. Man, I cannot believe how much lead poisoning there was. I feel like everything had lead. The omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence. We need to look at the court record. I don't remember what button it is. It's R. Alright, let's look. It's... But what about my armband? Oh, that's my boyfriend's armband. Very cute. Thrice-fired Mason male, age 54, occupation brickmaker, time and cause, death at 15th of February, between the evenings, night, stabbed in the abdomen with a knife while journeying in the omnibus, died to internal hemorrhaging resulting from the trauma. Inside. Okay. Okay. Why can't I look above? Okay, he died here. Can't find anything out of place. Okay. You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. And there's a lamp in the closed cabin, so I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. That's not good for us. No, it's not. Would they be able to see in there? Phoenix Wright Omnibus. And then the driver's here. Driver wouldn't have been able to see anything. Can't believe it, the entire crime scene entered as evidence. Great Britain is simply extraordinary. I could help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it is here. Let's continue with proceedings, then your cross-examination counsel. Pray, don't expect the Nipponese stray to understand the intricacies of British courts' cross-examination rights. I am going to punch you, and you're gonna like it. Alright, my first cross-examination. Focus, Ryunosuke. Focus. Why is she praising the white people? Don't we all know an Asian who does that? Don't we all know? What in the witness assault? Okay, let's cross-examine. We're gonna press. It's the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers I remember well.
Hold it!
His voice catches me off guard. I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it? Oh, yes, sir. That's right, sir. Yes, ever so cold. It was freezing, in fact. You look like you're always cold. You have 4 passengers on board. Is that correct? Yes, that's right, sir. Not all traveling in the same parts of the bus, of course, though, no. There were no other passengers when the incident took place. No one alighted, for example. You're quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that. No one. Is she still gone? She like stared at me in the hallway and disappeared. Hi, Hobart. Shall we pick up Hobart real quick? Oh no, you're right here. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wait, let me... Here, talk in the mic. Talk in the mic. Talk in it. Talk in it. What you looking at? Talk in the mic. He said, don't hit my head on the mic. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh my goodness. He's so cool toned. That is a gray cat. All gray tones, gray, blue eyes. Look at the blue eyes. I think he's a some people say Maine Coon. I think he's actually like a ragdoll. Like a ragdoll. There's a certain coloring that I looked up of ragdolls. He's that coloring of it though. It's basically like a blue tabby coloring of a ragdoll. I think that's what he is, but I don't know how to get... I don't know. I also think he's maybe Siamese because he has like points. His like feet are darker than his, and his ears are darker and his snout is darker. But his like chest is white. But his whole back is like dark gray. And Chloe's like the opposite color. She's like bright orange, like warm tones, brown eyes. That is my daughter. That is my daughter. I wish I could pick her up. She's too big. You can see her ears though. Those are Doritos. There they are, the Doritos. The floating Doritos. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He's gotten so white in the face. She used to like, obviously she's old, but like she used to have just an orange face and then all of a sudden it's all white. Hobart is a cute little baby. She's a cat. She's a cat too with her cat ears. Every dog she is, because she's like Chow Chow Husky Collie is her main dogs and like 50% Husky. Or not Husky, 50% mixed breed. All the main dogs are all pointy-eared dogs, which I think is very cute. Oh, do you want to treat? Want to treat? Can you speak? 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 Oh, she doesn't want to speak. Well, can you shake? Good job. Alright, where's your cheek? I need to go get new ones for her, but I have to make a quick market run. I'm giving her 2 because they're really stale. She knows a lot of tricks, actually. She knows sit. She knows lay down. She knows roll over. She knows shake. And she knows speak, but speak kind of takes her a long time. I think because I think whoever had her before us was mean to her. I think they didn't like her barking and stuff. It took her a long time to bark. I don't know anything about her previous owners. I don't know anything about Hobart's either. They found both of them on the street. Well, not together, but like I adopted Chloe like 2 years, I think, after Hobart, I think. Bert. I think someone was mean to Chloe. The way she acted for the longest time, someone was mean to her. Hobart literally did not give a shit. I don't know who Hobart's previous owners were. I know they were mean in the sense I don't know if he knows they were mean. But whoever owned him before, giving him declawed, like getting him declawed is so mean. I don't care. Declawed and then he's found out on the streets. That is so fucking mean. Whenever I say speak, they don't even respond in English. I don't speak dog. Hobart speaks English sometimes. He goes, meh. He just did it. Meh. 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 I also think Hobart doesn't know how to... I feel like... It wouldn't surprise me if he was kind of like a fancy cat. I don't know. Because he doesn't know how to meow. And I learned that if a cat doesn't really know how to meow, that means that they weren't with their mom long enough. And that makes me sad. That makes me fucking sad. Okay, so nobody fled the scene of the crime then. I have to say the boss insists on running. He does it's so sad. Every evening, the last bus of the day. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, sorry to say. What do you mean by that? Well, it being so cold and everything, and only making 20 pence on the run, you see. Yes, I spend that much at the pub on the way home, just trying to warm up again. Oh. You're being overworked and underpaid. I see. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. The victim and the man accused were sat next to each other. Okay.
Hold it!
And you saw them through the skylight and the roof of the carriage. That's right. When you sit up on the top deck, the window's right there at your feet. Okay. There was a lamp on the inside, so I had a pretty good view. Why is there a lamp on the inside? 2 of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. There's not a shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGilden. How can you be so sure? Well, how can I put it politely? McGilden is a gentleman of rather small stature. Couldn't have mistaken him for anyone else. Let's not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilden. There's no room for doubt here. I really wish there was. Then, out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts.
Hold it!
Hold it! Hold it! You actually saw the exact moment it happened? Didn't I already testify to that? Or are fair dinkum hard-working city bankers not considered trustworthy these days? Ooh, no, I didn't mean it like that. This is not good. I really got his back up. Perhaps you could just... My lord. Juror number 3. What's the meaning of this? My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up. Made up about what? I don't like the stinking rich. Never have. They're always up to something or other that they shouldn't be. Every one of them. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Well, he can't fool me. Oh, okay. There's no point wasting time listening to any more of this. This is my opinion on the matter anyway. So I'm not allowed to keep pressing. That's precisely what I was about to say. As the foreman of the jury, it is my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors. What is happening here? Let me see. Ah, yes, it seems that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts. What? With fire? Apparently, yeah, white for innocent and black for guilty. As the 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case, one by one, they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago. So those enormous scales fall completely to the black side. Does that mean... Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen. Now I'm even more worried than I was before. Am I not allowed to press all the time? Very well, the court acknowledges the change in the jury's stance. Also for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Oh, this is a nightmare. This is just me as it says the murder weapon was the knife guy thing, and there's the guy with the knife. Right? That's right. He stabbed him. I screamed. I couldn't help it. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus, and then I saw it too.
Hold it!
What exactly did you see? Oh, well, that would be the passenger, sir. Yes, collapsed on the floor he was. And by the passenger, obviously, you're referring to the victim, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. And the other passenger that had that knife in his hand, like this. By the other passenger, obviously, you are referring to the accused. And then he plunged it down like this. Beginning the other passenger in the belly. What? Am I fucked? Did I already fuck up? My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption. Juror number 2, go on. Mr. McGill is a pillar of society and a gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. However, those of us in the service know we must accept hard truths. Wait, dispose of the rubbish. I don't wish to cause offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime. I have painstakingly typed every word uttered before here today and cross-referenced all the facts. As such, I am now in position to draw the only logical conclusion. What is happening? Is this scripted? Not again. That's 4 out of 6. Who proposed a guilty? There are only 2 left. We've had it. Every time I press the witnesses for more information, I just make the situation worse. Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. We're still very much in the dark. Suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses. We must give up hope that we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back. But... Alright, I'll keep trying. Can't give up. I just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again. Alright, so when it happened, the only 2 people in the closed cabin area were the victim and the defendant. And so, help me, 3 whole people witnessed the man I'm trying to defend do the deed. I don't like to be pessimistic, but we do seem to be in a rather difficult situation here. What am I supposed to think here? Is Mr. McGilda really innocent? Or could it be... Before we jump to the conclusions, our first task should be to gather information. We need to understand the case much better than we do at the moment. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Let's listen to his witness statement again a little more carefully this time. Remember? The only one I didn't press is this one. Should I press this one?
Hold it!
He stabbed him. He's saying you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you? Yeah, that's right. I was up on the roof seats. I remember seeing the little gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed. I've been thinking about a new hat design, you see, so I was just gazing absent-mindedly around. And then I happened to look down through the skylight. And it was sticking right out from his... So you didn't see the act of stabbing. A grim sight indeed. That didn't help me at all. The jury looks like they've been more... That appears to have made everyone even more dubious. If only we had some evidence to counter. Mr. First. Oh, yes. Yes, sir. Is the knife you saw... Oh, okay. That's it. That's the very one. Is it that? Yes, Counsel. This is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart. That is a blade of considerable size, Counsel. It is, and furthermore, scabbard is emblazoned probably with a certain initial. Letter M, which seems oddly familiar. Please, no. Or Magnus, perhaps, or McGilded? Possibly, take your pick. Seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
Objection.
But there are M's everywhere. Like... Mason.
Objection!
This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have. No, this weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused. Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, Counsel. Alright, now we have a knife. Oh my god! What the fuck? Yes, juror number 5. Do I take it that you too? As the master of the London Guild of Coachmen, the idea of a murder being committed in one's city carriages is utterly abhorrent. It would be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself. But I've had enough now. The horse is bolted, as they say. Please just... Beppo's a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says. Thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir. Oh, this is too unkind. Which now means that 5 jurors agree to condemn this man. Did I fuck this up? No, this is scripted, right? Madam Juror number 6. Yes, dear, what can I do for you? You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand. The stand. I certainly have. Still got my, you know. Alright, ornate letter M. Undeniably Mr. Magnus McGilded's initial, and it's beautifully gilded too. It must be very valuable. What is it? Look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. This could change everything. Yes, this is one of those, you know, turnabout cases, I'm sure. I'm afraid I don't know, but I'm sure that this isn't him. Okay, let's quit. That part is the sheath, isn't it? Are you alright? Oh, sorry, yes. I just don't really like blades. Those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist. It's not a blade, that's Cosmo's soul anyway. There's no sense in delaying it. Okay. That looks a lot like blood. It surely is blood, the victim's. Ugh, an Englishman's blood looks a lot like Japanese man's blood. That is Cosmo's soul. He's with me everywhere. Did you think it wouldn't? Sorry, it's just that we only just arrived here. Finding it a little hard to adjust. The white man has a different blood? Yes, I do understand. Anything else to look at? Okay, let's look at the rest of the evidence. I certainly have still got my hearing, you know. Then, pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaning? Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit. I always go to the park at around this time of day and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting. It does say abdomen. It was a stomach, right? That's a lovely park just near where I live. McGilded Park, it's called. Gentleman donated to the city, you know, to put a smile on Londoners' faces, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him to take another man's life. Did they say straight through the heart? I didn't even notice. I could try to look back at the testimony, but it's being plot driven. He's always doing wonderful things for the city. That's right, a man like that wouldn't stab someone, surely. Mother, may we go to the McGilded Public Library later to borrow some more books? How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know what kind of man Magnus McGilded really is? Low battery! Low battery! Low battery! Low battery. Hold on. Oh my god, I'm Velcro. There we go. Oh, battery. Okay. What kind of man is he? The philanthropist Magnus McGilded has enough wealth to purchase. Fuck J.K. Rowling, but I feel like I should, you know British accents, because Harry Potter has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims so value highly. But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir, one with the very darkest of souls. What? Stone the Crows? McGilded lends money at an extortionate rates of interest so his victims have no hope of repaying him. What? When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He is a vulture that preys on the weak. I've never heard any mention of that before. Your faculties haven't deserted you, I'm sure, madam. So this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of its own? What possible reason could this man have made to make use of a public omnibus? You're not saying that the victim of Paul Brickmaker had next to nothing to his name save considerable financial liability. It will come as no surprise that his creditor was the accused Magnus McGilded. Let it also be known that the very day Mr. Mason was killed, the final repayment date for his debts. Good gracious. The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debts. And in the end, this pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him, his life. By the merciless philanthropist pretender Magnus McGilded. I don't believe it. If I might add something briefly. Miss Susato, you claim that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded. But where's the evidence to support your claim? What? Where did you get that from? Pray, forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in a court of law. Ah, there it is, Lord Van... Ah, there it is. Hi, random. He's a this is the vampire? Ah, there it is, Lord Van Zeek's hallowed chalice. How can this be considered acceptable? I'm feeling the same way. I find myself in an unexpectedly good humor. I heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage, but I didn't expect to experience it myself. He showed up looking like a bat. Did he really? Man, am I stupid? Are y'all calling me stupid? I mean, it was obvious, but I was waiting for it to be like obvious. Like obvious, like where they like... I was like, is this confirmation? Hi, Chris. How are you? I feel like we have not gotten far. I feel like I am being set up to fail here. Ah! About to put 15 more in spinning wheel. What you getting? What you getting, random? As a judicial assistant to the defense, I am simply doing my job. What's a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all monies loaned by the accused. You'll find the victim's name clearly recorded inside. Oh. Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. This Professor Layton Ace crossover I have to get, but other than that, not sure. I have never played a Layton game. Maybe I should. We've been if you are here, it's starting soon. It's been Leighton music. Because I feel like Juju said, Ace Attorney music gives things away. Because it does. So I'm trying very hard not to listen to this Ace Attorney music or the Apollo Justice, Dual Destinies, and Spirit of Justice. I have it written down right here. What order to play. I know. Embarrassing. I'm trying not to listen to music because it does give it away. So I've been playing Professor Layton. Professor! That's what Luke sounds like. Pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my... Another British game! My chalice and toast to the enigmatic East at the same time. Wait, let me read all of that at once. Allow me to present this ledger as evidence, and pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice and toast to the enigmatic East at the same time. A marvelous toast, Council. I will gladly accept this new evidence. Well, we only have one lady to convince. This fucking sucks. Catalog of people who had borrowed money from the defendant at a high rate of interest. It includes the victim who owed 20 guineas. Okay. Ah, yeah, 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum. Open it. This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets. Do you really think we ought to look inside? Well, it's not as though we know any London gentry personnel. Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. They're not British. They sort of are. This is me, though. This is me. This is duality of me. Pomegranate juice. I assure you, we will not find Mr. Sholm's name inside. Well, let's see. I can't read that. It's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it? Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off. Goodness, what is it? Look at this. Do you see this name here? Bruce Fairplay. Should that mean something to me? That sounds strangely familiar. The witness testifying at this very moment. Oh. Oh yeah, of course, the banker. Why is his name in here? He borrowed 20 guineas, did he? And look, the repayment date is fast approaching. It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course. This could be very useful. Among the defendant's list of debtors is Bruce, who would have been due to repay his loan imminently. And the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense. Recompense? I don't know how to say that word. Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes. Are you fucking kidding me? Regrettably, madam, that is the modus operandi of the accused. And it's such a pretty little park, too. What a scoundrel. Did I fuck this up? Still. Maybe it's all for the best. Wait a minute. Well, let's think about this a little bit. I don't stand for nonsense. Did I fuck this up? I have to do this all again? Oh my god. Okay. I was like, I don't want to do all this again. According to this Encyclopedia of British Law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here. The final verdict is over then. Oh. There's a footnote, though. A footnote. However, the defense... Can you let her speak? Let her speak! All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement of this case. Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision. According to the laws of the country, I will now conclude the trial by delivering my final verdict. Is the trust there are no objections? Yes. Mrs. Otto, just tell me one thing. Oh, yeah. You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law Does that spell encyclopedia? Man, am I dumb? However, the defense... What did it say next? Oh, yeah, of course. One moment. Oh, okay. I was like... Since when is there an A? They spell pedophile like that? What? Like, what? Pedia. Dude, is it because they say encyclopedia? I don't know. Encyclopedia. No, they right? That's why I'm like, I'm on to you, Great Britain. When all the members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point. You did miss the first wine. A summation examination.
Objection!
A summation examination. From which century has that tome you've been there resurrected? Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure mentioned. I need to buy a red. I need to buy a red. A red? A red? It's relic, long forgotten and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out to luck? Oh. You gotta buy a red wine. I will drink my pink cranberry juice in solidarity because I don't drink wine. I do have pink cranberry juice, but I have a pink Dr. Pepper. What even is it, Miss Susato? This is so-called summation examination. Well, one moment and I'll read about it. Susato's the girl boss in me, and Ryunosuke is the dummy in me. You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails. Typical Nipponese. That sounds weird. Nipponese? That sounds like weird to me. Alright, Mr. Naruhodo. I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure, we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury. To do what exactly? Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decisions. And it says here that if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed. Make them reverse their decisions. In times gone, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. That procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really. So if it rather fell out of use, I wonder why. Because it was devoid of purpose. Barrister means someone who's a member of the bar. I feel like wine is one of those drinks where you just need to find the wine for you. I just don't drink. That's my only thing. I just don't drink anymore. I've been, I think, almost 2 years sober. It's been like, I think maybe over 2 years? I don't know. It was solidarity with Jeremy, and drinking never really made me feel good anyways, so. A solidarity with Jeremy's path to soberness. So, yeah. I never really liked wine in general, though. I didn't really like alcohol in general. I'm being real. Let's be real. Didn't really like it in general. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age. Still, I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked. What are you suggesting? It's a good habit, Tim. Just not drink. It's really bad for your body. And also, we're Asian. It's really bad for our like livers and our, you know, it's kind of bad. I'm suggesting that although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. I actually, when I went to the last time I went to the hospital and got my gallbladder taken out, my liver was fine. I have a healthy liver. Probably because I don't drink anymore. I'm suggesting the... We already read that. Gasp. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Summon estimation examination, our last possible option. Do we start a right to carry it out or admit defeat? Why would we admit defeat? Defense wishes to start its right to summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
I can't drink at my work, so you can only sip. Drink some water. London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the... Wow, that was really bad. We have the duty to the ward to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. I didn't mean to do that. The controller's in my lap. Funny. Thirsty. Very thirsty. My throat's hurting.
Objection!
Objection. I don't think I read what he said. Our embarrassment that should remain buried. Objection, but if it's our right, it's our right. I believe it could prove vital in this trial. The defense's petition is perfectly valid. Court will proceed with the summation examination. This is madness. This is madness. Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? Eh? Well, I'm not, there's no mention of this in the received, you see. Let me allow that. That's right, I only really like drinking for the flavor. I don't really get fucked up that often. If I do, it's like once a year if that smoking messes me up more. Smoking fucks me up. I think I'm allergic though. I think I'm allergic. I have evidence that I might be allergic. All members of the jury, like not like where it would kill, well, one time I smoked so much that I knocked the fuck out for like 12 hours. And I was like, they were like the people around me were like opening my eyes and stuff, and I wasn't waking up. And also, this is before I knew how bad smoking is. I know it's like really bad, like when you smoke around your pets. But Hobart was in the room, and Hobart had apparently bit the fuck out of my foot. Like I didn't know how bad it was until I was like conscious, basically. But like that should have woken me up. Like that should have, it was like literally bleeding and swollen and bad. I didn't smoke that much though, I don't think, but it was pretty bad. Caffeine impacts me more than alcohol. Caffeine does impact, my fucking heart rate goes Alcohol just makes me throw up immediately. There was like at one point, like one of the last few drinks I had, it was a White Claw, and it made me throw up immediately. Like one White Claw made me throw up, so I knew something was up. Probably I was like, And then I'll get really itchy, like it'll feel like when I smoke, it feels, my skin crawls. And one time I did take too much edibles once, but I threw up so much. Makes me so itchy. Makes me really itchy. All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision. On what grounds? You must all justify your decisions and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty. Well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot. This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before. I don't really hold with all this justifying lark. That seems to have thrown the jurors off. Seems none of them have experienced this before. Alright then, the summation examination. Defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, just maybe. It might be the opportunity we've been looking for. So be it then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant, Magnus McGilded, guilty of his most serious crime. Oh, I thought it was like a to be continued moment. Judicial findings. Okay. Jurors' contentions. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it had to have been him. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. Stuck the chat next to him, just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. I have simply typed in collided? I don't know that word. All the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We have raised prices above 4 pence for years. Scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It begs it. 4 pence. That shouldn't be 20. Collated. Collated. Okay. The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It beggars belief. I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now. Some of the juries don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they? Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language. Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. According to my book, that's not quite how this works. I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant. Fortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says. But then, they've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you the more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become. Then what on earth am I supposed to do? Oh dear, I'm just citing what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo. Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work, then? Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments. What do you mean? Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together. And that's the way to break them down, you mean? Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says. See if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, we then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other. I see, so it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination. Is it the 20 pence and nothing more than 4 pence? Is it that? Oh yeah, I suppose you're right. Find contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Is it math? Am I right? Alright, I might be able to pull this off. I have to pull this off. Can we start proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Rebuttal! Yeah, my lord. Yes, my lord. Yes, sir. He's kind of cute, like in a I want to squeeze his little cheeks way. Defense's rebuttal. Yeah, my lord. Imagine me in a court of law. There's no one else inside carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. I should start raising some memory. Seems 4 passenger fares. 4 times 4 is 16. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say, absolute brazen. I simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. Trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We have a
Objection!
Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other. Could I have pressed? I didn't even notice. Could I have pressed them? Would it made him piss? It would piss them off though, right? Is what she said. They do? Does it have consequence? Does this game's pressing have consequences? Unlike the other games? They do? Explain yourself, counsel. Me? I think because it's the first one you don't need to press. Okay, okay. Oh dear, what have I said? I swear on Silver Blaze's maiden name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. They'll tell you pressing has consequences. They're not going to trick you. Okay, because I'm like, I feel like I was set up to fail, but it's because they're teaching you how to talk to the jury. According to the group testimony we've heard so far. So there's 5 people on the bus. There were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares. Quite right. I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me. And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That is a fair and convenient single price, just the way London carriages should be operated. That doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man, why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each would be 16. Oh! It would be 16 pence. Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or 1 person's fare. 1 person. Yes, in other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about. Oh. This can't be right. The coachmen of the guild are good, honest men, and one and all, trustworthiness is our watchword. Figures coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy. I beg your pardon. Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus. All right then, how do I make it this miserable trial doesn't end, Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire onto the innocent side of the set of scales. Now hold your horses there, coachman. We were all in agreement. Agreement? Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo. Let's go. Oh, this is all very irritating. Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same. Why is Beppo lying, though? Was Beppo? Yeah. What did I don't remember what Beppo said. For the love of Mike, not you as well. Can you give me the difference between a smile and a tear, after all? I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards of financial matters. Oh, really? I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. You did it. If we can manage to change 2 more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue. 2 more? Actually, there's something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions. There we go. And that's where you must strike next. So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show there's contradiction in their assertions. Exactly, you can do that. Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continuous summation. Okay, what else is... Again, I'm changing my leaning to innocent. I should like to hear what the slipshod bookkeeper has to say. Who's the bookkeeper? There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen. I am simply... He stuck the chap next to him just like this. The scoundrel stabbing the poor man on the floor. It beggars belief.
Objection!
These 2 statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain, counsel. Post haste. Oh dear me, I was only knitting a jumper for my other half. What is all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? Well, we heard from more than 1 witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3... Can't you see that I'm busy here? Look at him walking. Look at this technology. This was on the 3DS? Originally? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? I'm randomly giving Rio's gay British accent. That's wild. Want to test me, do you? It was like this, stuck the fella next to him without even getting up, like the prim banker said. Yeah, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true. Now then, juror number 6. Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for you, young man? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam? Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so. Now, don't move. Take a look at these 2 jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions. Yeah, they sure are. Plus my stitches. What a muddle. What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth. Oh. But why the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet. Y'all wouldn't give me a chance to cross-examine. Is that if the trial ends at this point? We may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience? Lie, as you say. Oh, dearie me. I can't abide people telling lies. The scales? I don't believe it. Who's saying hold it? Wait. Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you could not listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clear some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all. Oh my god. If I could use magic, really think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, Doc Jinx. Me? What exactly is the problem? What if two witnesses have slightly different recollection? What of it? Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he sat next to him on the omnibus. And this young dandy saw him do it. That's why jury duty is set up differently nowadays, right? So people don't do that. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor and the Shylock stabbed him again. And this old lady saw him do that. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that, hmm? Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why I should take this knife to you? Who are you calling old? Why I should take this needle to you? They're ready to kill each other. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime? I don't think so. Stabbed once. Yes. Stabbed once. It's out of the question. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman, what is it, you Doc Jinx? Come on, out with it. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What are you talking about, man? I didn't say it like that. What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As the foreman of the jury, I have responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So, where's your evidence? That's what we want to see. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. You say that's out of the question. Show me some proof. Well, it looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. The autopsy report of some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime, as proven by the autopsy report.
Take that!
This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen once. Only once? It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. Alright, I concede defeat. That's a good thing, right? Wait, that means more jurors are leading to not guilty. We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won. What are you playing at, dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. But we had a consensus. I said shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one. If the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head. Please tell me he's a barber. Well, in quite remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of these scales of justice. Jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there's no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate, and the trial must continue. Alright. I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to the places, and I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. Damn. The head jury guy is not doing his job, is what I'm getting. So, Lord Von Zeeks, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please. Okay. Delicious. Yummy. Are you gonna drink it? Oh, he broke it. Having savored the rich aroma, the calming contents of this hallowed chalice, it may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks. Is it cold in here, or is it just me? As your antiquated tome no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination, so I honor a deathly silence and listen to the charade. Seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Well, no matter. There's nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No, and why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. No cape anymore. Bring forth the witnesses once more. No more cape. Are you liking it, Tim? Witnesses, I trust you heard the summation examination we just had to endure. Oh, yes, sir, that I did, sir. Of course I heard it. Oh, yes, sir, I heard it. You, sir, on the end, the coachman. I believe it's Beppo. Yes, sir, my lord, sir. If it transpires that in your previous testimony that you were attempting to veil the presence of a 5th passenger on your omnibus, you'll be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir. You basically can't catch any of them replay unless you trade from a... Really? I never played Crystal because I played Gold and Silver, right? I did not know that. That's kind of weird. Oh, mio Dio. Is Beppo Italian? Did I give him a British accent? Now the witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense summation examination. It does have Celebi. Alright, now I can cross-examine. Various misgivings. I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear, but, well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. The death of the e-shop. I wonder... I have Pokemon Red, I don't have Crystal. He fiddled us on the fair, he did, and when I saw that blood-curdling sight as well, it's all too much. I tell you, I saw McGilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Oh, yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes. You wouldn't be able to see it. I don't know how to prove that, though. Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom 5th passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from Coachman's sly little cousinage? Beppo, explain yourself. Terribly sorry, Guildmaster. The Guild's fare is 4 pence across the board. You know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare? Also, I downloaded Pokemon Bank, Dream Radar, 3DS game demos, and Pokemon Transporter. So, I tried to download Pokemon Transporter, but I don't know if it worked, because I think it came with Pokemon Bank. I don't know. I can't find it on the eShop. But I have Pokemon Bank. But I don't know if it downloaded with Pokemon... Like, is it a separate app? It's so cold and the last run of the day is always half empty. You have been dishonest, Coachman. I am sorry. You're a disgrace, Beppo. A disgrace. Okay, comes with bank. Your selfish actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild. What may, sir? I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week. What? 4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. I've done that arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently. Oh, that figures. With bank, it takes you to a download screen for transporter. Gotcha. It would appear that I need to open bank. I gotcha. Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, you cross-examination, please. We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games. Absolutely. Teehee. Yeah, I know they're both gonna be free after the eShop. That's why you gotta download them now. I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear, but well, everyone was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. He fiddled us on the fare. He did, and then I saw that blood curdling side as well. It's all too much. I tell you, I saw McGilda stabbing that man. Everything he said before stands. Okay. Oh, yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes. Okay, we're gonna press. We're gonna press on this one. Because why won't he say more? So there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them the standard 4 pence. Is that right? It's impossible to make the last run of the day pay. I was so cold, it was all I could do to stop myself passing out. I'm getting chilblains just listening to you. It was terrible, so I wanted to give myself a pat on the back for even keeping the bus running. Doesn't a dedicated coachman deserve an extra penny per passenger? You're digging a deeper hole here for yourself. If only there had been a 5th passenger on the omnibus that night. Then we would have had another suspect. Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence. Does that mean everyone aboard that night paid 5 pence instead of 4? Well, I paid 5 pence too, sir. And I just told you that I did. A flat fare, 5 pence across the board. It's not something to be proud of. The so-called discrepancy my learned friend identified was nothing of the sort. Much like the phantom killer you so desperately needed, it's gone, dead and buried. I'd been happier if it ever existed in the first place. He filled us on the fare, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight. Well, is that too much? This blood-curdling sight? You mean the murderer, I presume? Yes, sir. A loathsome sight. No one should have to witness the horror in the eyes of a man the moment his life is taken. Oh, well, not exactly, sir. I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the gent was stabbed. Really? We have another witness who did, however. The banker has already testified to it. Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. That maybe turned out to be very significant. I heard the banker gent next to me take a sharp intake of breath, see? That's when I looked through the glass. That's when I saw that horrible blade poking out from his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see a knife now, I can't help screaming, even when I'm eating. What if I present the knife to him? Tell you saw McGilda stabbing them and everything. So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGilda, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him. That's what I said, isn't it? It was bothering me before, this was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question. Anyway, there was only the 2 of them inside the carriage, wasn't there? There's been much talk of a 5th passenger, but yet 0 evidence. And what are we wasting our time on? It's black and white. The man's guilty. Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars with me. Wish I could work out what it was. What button do I press again for that? Not long ago, this trial verily came to an end. Somehow, we managed to keep our chances alive here. I can't waste this cross. Oh, oops, I didn't. What just happened? This trial came to. Somehow, we managed to keep our chances alive here. I can't waste this cross. I have to use it to bring some new facts light. Now, careful when you press these witnesses. The danger is that jury will end up believing something unhelpful as they did before. Maybe, but we can't let the fear of that happening stop us from uncovering important new information. Yes, you're so right. Need to pay careful attention here. I don't want miss even a flicker of a reaction. Remember, if you happen to spot one of the witness reacting, don't hesitate to pursue them as to the reason. I did already. I'll carry 4 that night. What does it want me to do here? He stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yeah. He wouldn't be able to see, but like, is that... I'm not on the right way, right? I need to press this, I think. Earlier, you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you? Oh, yes, that's right. He said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in a ice pick grip. I suppose I might have, you know. Yes, but the cart before the horse, maybe. What's this? Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horses when I heard a scream from the seats on the roof deck. I expect that was me, sir. That's when I turned around. Yes, I saw it through the skylight. This gentleman was on the floor and the knife was sticking out of his midriff. That's right, yes, and the fellow holding the handle was the famous man. So in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all? I really thought that I did, but when I go over it again in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the How do I... what button do I press? I don't remember what button to press.
Excuse me.
Okay, I figured it out. Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay? Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. You really didn't see the exact moment that fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Eh? Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer cleverly. Could he just happen to see the exact moment the crime was committed? No. Well, it was a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you're spending your time peeping through a skylight at the top of an omnibus, that is. Peeping? I'm a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. I know what I saw. I remember it as clear as Ballarat Day. It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, excuse me, if I was getting a little hot under the collar there, my lord. I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. Oh, I can do that? All right. I'll tell you how grim it was. Okay, tell me. Do you think I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after that butcher stabbed the man? The gloves weren't blood-soaked, but maybe it was considered blood-soaked? I don't know. I'm gonna press it? No.
Hold it!
I'm gonna press it. Blood-soaked? Well, perhaps soaked is laying it a little thick, but... Anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. That's not true. And you saw that from the roof, through the skylight. Well, the skylight's reasonably large, so I had a pretty good view. There's a lamp on the carriage as well, so I'm quite sure what I saw. The banker's last statement. Feel sure there's something not quite right. I know what to do. I know what to do. You're not careful when you press these witness. I know. I know. I know, I know, I know. I know. The gloves are not blood-soaked.
Objection!
Blood-soaked hands Well, I admit that sook might be laying on a little thick, but anyway, there's definitely blood all over them. Both of them are covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilded, on the night in question. Yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark color stain there. But, as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right hand glove. No one saw what happened. In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. But no, that can't be right. See the lie hidden. That's right, you were quite clear about it. You said it was both hands. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really true?
Objection!
It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Yes, it wasn't both hands, it was only one, but the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused, but not both hands. No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands, which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Why? I'm a city banker, for pity's sake. My word, it's the journal. My word should be the gold standard. I'm a gentleman, not some gut to snipe. Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate? Prevaricate. He's claiming to have no reason to lie. Is that really the case? Mr. Narhodu, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, it could turn the tide in this trial completely. There's a... Oh, no! No! Wait, I was just clicking A. Oh, no. Oh, no. How do I rewind? How? Okay. I need to stop clicking A. Mr. Narho, did you see that? Yes, he let out an audible sigh of relief. Does that mean there is some evidence? Okay, oh my god, I know there's evidence. Okay, it's letting you know, look at your fucking court record. Yes. The defense is ready to present evidence. Okay, thank God. Jesus. It's all based on the health bar, so if you mess up like that's the worst thing is you'll need to redo. So, okay. That before I can allow that to happen, I shall have to penalize you for that reckless about turn. Oh my god. I suppose that's fair. Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. Evidence? It's the journal.
Take that!
This is a list of the debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded. Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused extortion. The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused? No, well, it's barely worth of being called a debt. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not a considerable sum of money, wouldn't you say? Well, what of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGilded were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case? Well, these documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, we were the creditor, the defendant, heir, to be sentenced to a capital punishment. All outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist. Cease to exist? Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw? And in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant. So what did you see? Order! Order! Mr. Bruce Fairplay. Yes, my lord. Let me ask you again. And be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you or did you not see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim? Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony. All right. Now let's not make a melodrama out of this. I heard did you as Juju who said it. Did you? Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch. A pinch? But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on McGilded's hands, both of them.
Objection!
That's not true. And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. So you keep saying... I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir. Go ahead, Mr. First. Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself as it happens. Seeing what? The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes. I'm almost sure that it was on both of his hands, not just one. What? It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yogs. Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. Yes, I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. It's golden hour. Can we see it on the camera? What the witnesses really saw. There was blood on both the hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters. I remember seeing the knife, and then I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself, no, not until I heard that scream. Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we would all have seen. Y'all didn't see shit. Well, lo and behold, in truth of fact, not one of you was witnesses to the crucial moment the crime was Yep, I said the same thing. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside that carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. That's really not what testimony is about. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. Victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's accounts. In other words, there's no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case. Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel. Yes. Yeah, my lord. Alright, let's see. Ooh, there it is. What the witnesses really saw. There was blood on both hands of the assailant, and sincerely and distinctly remember that.
Hold it!
No, the evidence tells us otherwise. We have the gloves the defendant was wearing on the night in question in the court record. I'm well aware of that, sir, but nevertheless, I know what I saw and I stand by it. The man had blood on both his hands. It's defiant, even in the face of hard evidence. He's steadfastly refusing to admit that he might be mistaken about what he saw. Why? Your reasoning is dire. One hand or two, the salient point remains unchanged. Minutes after the grim crime, the victim's blood dripped guilty from the accused's fingers. Did it? However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters. Don't try to downplay this. Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime is a matter of fundamental importance, as well you know. But crying out loud, we all know that no one else could possibly have done it. Just trying to save us all some time. You have a loan of 20 guineas outstanding with the defendant, do you not? Had you hoped to release yourself from that financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty? Well, it's not entirely not what I was hoping for. I just lost a little guinea or 10 when I backed the wrong horse in the derby, that's all. It's going to win it all back. There's a fixture this weekend, that's a sure thing. Have fun at your meeting, Tim. A little guinea or 10. I'm a banker. No one bats an eye if I borrow a little spending money for the weekend. I'm shaking my head too, man. I think you may have revealed rather more about your character than you bargained for, sir. These witness scrumples are not on trial here. Proceed to the next witness. Is it really how it's supposed to work? I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attackers' hands with blood on them.
Hold it!
You definitely saw that too. Blood on both hands? Yes, sir. I mean, I know what you're going to say. Only one of Mr. McGillicud's gloves had any sign of blood on it. That's right. The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGillicud sitting beside the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir. He wasn't wearing these gloves. That's correct, sir, and I saw the blood on both his bare hands quite clearly. It's true that the dark color stain on the dark leather gloves wouldn't have been easy to see. I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGillicud's gloved hands. There wasn't blood on his hands. This is puzzling. This may be significant. I'm sure of it. It is significant. I didn't actually see anything myself. No, not until I heard that scream.
Hold it!
You didn't see anything. Oh, yes, sir. That is to say, no, sir, I didn't. Very sorry about what I said before, sir. Yeah, sorry, yeah. It was very wrong of me to make up stories and say I saw stab the man. Wouldn't you agree, sir? I know what you're insinuating, but I certainly wasn't making up stories. Still, to say you saw nothing isn't right either, is it? No, sir, I saw nothing at all. Mr. Beppo, you were driving your horses. At the very least, you must have enjoyed a good view of London streets, no? Okay, please. You didn't even see that? It was so cold at night, you see, it was all I could do keep from passing out, sir. Yeah, my head was fairly frozen solid. Sorry to say, sir. It would seem prudent to avoid travel on the last omnibus service of London's cold winter nights. Beppo! Oh! And with the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we all would have seen. I'm gonna press. And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus. That's right, it was fairly cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over. Oh yeah, I remember I was shivering, it was so bitter. Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. Locked? That's right, it's a public bus service, for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play. Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the jit inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up to the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below. Well, I can assure you I just wasn't looking down. I was glaring, long and hard. That's precisely why I can't tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else at all in that cabin, I would have noticed. Unequivocal, I would say. I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin? They might not have been able to. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You were riding this omnibus and witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight in the floor of the upper deck. Is that right? That's right, yeah. In that case, there is a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you. What? By golly, really? Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied. Then at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Objection.
Enough hypothetical meandering. My Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh. Very well. I will uphold the prosecution's demand. You will identify the area of this cross-sectional plan of the omnibus. Where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting that this potential extra passenger could have been situated? Over here, right? So if they're sitting here and they see here, I'm assuming we couldn't see this side. I think I was looking in the omnibus too. We're gonna present. I'm gonna hydrate. I'm gonna stretch my arms above my head. My posture's okay. I could stand up straighter. Both rows of the seat of the roof face in the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight, is as I've drawn here. Ah. That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite the one on which the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat... What should you give for dinner? I had a burrito bowl for lunch. Maybe burrito bowl? Do you like Mexican food? It's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it. I need to drink a little more water.
Objection!
Ooh, pork fennel ragu? That sounds good. I had Chipotle, so I'm kind of still full. So I might have like a small dinner tonight. I still have chips. Maybe I'll make like nachos or something. I'm gonna change the exposure on my camera real quick. It's beautiful outside, but it is really pink in here. Okay, maybe we'll just leave it like that. A little dark, but it doesn't look crazy. It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. There we go. Your Nipponese have Nipponese, oh my god, have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. Ambiguity. I concur with the prosecution rejoinder. In a British court law, evidence is paramount. I cannot enter this conjecture counsel. Mexican food is fine, I just really don't know what I want. When I don't know what I want, I always get Chipotle. Or a chicken wrap. I think that's my new favorite food right now. He is just making up new things. He's like, this is a new slur. He's that is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude. Can you? Can I? I had fish and shrimp tacos for lunch. See, that sounds good. I mean, I don't like fish and shrimp tacos, but I'm sure someone does. I'm really picky when it comes to fish. I don't know why. Well, me. But not because you're a lesbian, right? There you go, Tim. You got something. I honestly don't know who could it have been. Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight for the witnesses on the roof deck. Who could it have been? We don't know, right? He's 32. Look, I like fried fish, I think, though. I don't like shrimp. I don't like shellfish, I guess. I don't like shrimp. I don't like lobster. If it looks like a bug, I'm not eating it. If that makes sense. Should we look at the other evidence? I don't think there would be anyone else in here. Careful. Should I say yes? Because it could be someone with a W name. I have an inkling? I'm gonna say I have an inkling. I understand, my lord. The defense would like to put forward a name. Why are you so thirsty? Chill out. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to hard lessons not yet learned. Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat. Oh, you're right. I can't save scum. This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night, I think I could say someone with the W name, but I am going to save scum. Wait, we're on part 2? Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't think I was gonna finish that today. Maybe? I don't know. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view was... Right? When did we get to part 2? Magnus guilty. Okay, he died. He is on... He's driving. Yeah, I bet it was the submission. It didn't make me save. That's why I'm like, we're at part 2. I am unsure. I'm actually unsure. The person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view was... Was it him? Was it Magnus? Let's not delay. The defense is to name the passenger in the other seat. I concur with the investigation and British court law. Evidence is paramount. I cannot, and that is unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude. Can you, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, let's... Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? Is it Magnus? I'm so unsure. I did save scum. It's gotta be Magnus is in the other seat. The seat that's hidden, where he was sleeping, right? I'm gonna say that. It's really hard to like know what the game, like, cause I can say something, obviously, like I'm saying, and the game could be like saying something completely that I'm not saying, you know? I'm gonna go with Magnus. I think Magnus might have been in the seat where they couldn't see him. That's why they're just saying it was him that killed him. I don't... that's the only other person I could think of. Unless it's literally like Apollo Justice.
Take that!
The passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witnesses on the roof deck failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus. McGilded? What are you talking about, counsel? That's the name of the defendant.
Objection!
If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks. Lord Von Zeeks. People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. I see they use the terms ill-advisedly. What are you trying to say, dude? Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It is the very premise on which this case is built. But that premise may be wrong. What? The victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded. It creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way. What inconsistency, counsel? The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both of the hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only in one glove bears the glory remains. Yeah, let me finish. The point is, even in the face of the irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged. Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct. And their testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night. A third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands. Both of them.
Objection!
And who was this third party? I don't know. Obviously, the true culprit. Extraordinary. Order! What exactly are you postulating?
Objection!
The defense's postulation is just that. Nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused. Did they? They assumed. When elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yeah. Tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though. Oh. Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatchers do tend to notice such things, sir. What particular styles of hat did the two gentlemen spot, Mr. First? I'm afraid I don't remember. And you call yourself a hatter. The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be so sure? Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGilded, would undoubtedly have offered to dispose the fact. Did you ask him? Unless that is, you're proposing an even more preposterous explanation. He was asleep! That the accused failed to even notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled. Ugh. He was asleep. He's right. There was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. It's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it. Order! There's clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand. Well, what you say, counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As a suspect, he will have already made a full statement to the police. But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely? Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion? My lord, should we ask Mr. McGilded to testify? I think we need to ask for his testimony. We need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. Defense would like to call Mr. McGilded to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. I need a little time to consider this. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilded has to say. Get the man out of here, I say. It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony. When something needs to do and get it done, that's how I run things at the guild. Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say? Oh yes, that would be lovely. All right. The jury says the man must be heard. Very well. The court will hear the defense's... Whatever. I didn't read it. The bailiff show the defendant to the stand at once. Will it make me safe? We have been going for a little bit, but... Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGilden, have you been listening to the discourse of the day? Should I save? We're still in part 2. I'm gonna go a little bit longer. This one's pretty long. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. I don't remember how long it is. I don't want to like accidentally. I don't want to look it up, obviously, but I feel like that's a good spot to stop. I feel like it is. Because we got a new witness to the stand. And, we have proven that maybe there's another person in there. So I feel like that is a good spot to start. I need to save. Let me go to the... I saved and went to the... Start. It makes me nervous. Since we got an update. Oh, we have a Game Boy update too, apparently. Is anyone live? Is anyone live? Hold on. Let me just go ahead and update that while... Okay. Oh, it is a system update. Okay. Let's see. Let me turn on some music. Oh my god. Sorry, I guess we'll raid Mushy? I'm thinking? Damn, it's really pink in here. I'm guessing we'll raid Mushy again. We could... Because Mushy's playing Pokemon. It's a Soul Link with Meeks. I wish I could raid both of them at the same time. We could raid Meeks instead. I think they just went live, so we're gonna go raid them. We're gonna go raid Mushy. Alright, we're gonna go do that. So, yeah, there we go. And then I'm also gonna give a shout out to Mika P. I think that's how you spell their name. Oh my god, Professor Layton is screaming in my ears right now. Mika P, yeah. We're gonna do that too. They're doing a Soul Link together, so we're going to do all that. So go say hi to Mushy. Mushy is another queer streamer, VTuber, plays Pokemon way more than I do. We raided him yesterday, but he's live again. So, and they're doing a Soul Link with Meeks. Sir, we got to go say hi, of course. And I'll see y'all Monday, I guess. I might make a Chipotle emote. We'll see. No promises. Bert, we'll see. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Thank y'all. And I'm enjoying this. VODs will be up this weekend, and I will see y'all Monday. Yeah. All right, I'll see y'all later. Y'all have fun. Bye bye.